He has muscles. I mean, he looks like he's been lifting. He's very strong.
I don't
So,
think that he lifts. I think he does push-ups and crap
oh
like
yeah,
that.
that's right. They do all those exercises, where they run around, they carry the packs and they go for these hikes and carry tons of weight because that's if they're in a war, they're expected to carry these packs and walk
Yeah,
or run or whatever for long distances. They can't
yeah.
expect somebody to
He's
be,
got a lot of endurance.
yeah, he has a lot of
Well,
endurance.
I'm going to use the argument that I already prepared last night and I revealed to you.
Marco
Okay.
just loves to win too. That's because I beat him at all these other kinds of games,
Well, no, it's because
word games.
it's really because I got to choose, and
Yeah,
so
that's
I
another
got.
thing. He got to choose the ones he thought he could win with.
But
So
I didn't think I've given some to you actually,
it's okay. I
like
don't care.
Floyd, and I didn't really think Floyd could win.
Poor
Excuse
Floyd.
me. Yeah. So, anyways, we're talking about
You have Reverend
Reverend
Tucker.
Tucker, and the thing about Reverend Tucker is that he's old.
Yes, he is old. I think he is older than the sergeant, but I think in the military, if you're like, I mean, he is a staff sergeant. He's out there training, and they do
I know.
have
I
older
was I
people
was
in the
just
military, but
joking.
they're not down on
I
the
was
ground
just
with the
joking.
soldiers training them.
I
And
was just joking because that's what I said
okay,
about Foley. He's old. Okay, so anyways, with Reverend Tucker, he's a man of God,
well, that's the problem,
and
and I
so
know I have to concede on this one because I don't know if even today, somebody who's a preacher, a priest, any kind of a religious leader, I just don't know if you're a soldier that you could. Um, I
no,
don't
we don't.
know, but
He.
it's really
It's
hard.
funny because in the episode he kisses up to a lot of his superiors. He
Yeah,
kisses up to them. He doesn't want them to get mad at him.
he's talking about mine,
Yeah, Vince
Sergeant Vince
Carter.
Carter.
And so we don't know how much he respects a reverend at all because we don't know anything about his religion. You know, he could be atheist for all we know,
But
and
another
that
thing,
would completely change it to where he would win automatically. That's why I didn't choose him.
but the thing is, as a sergeant, he's used to following orders, and I mean, they're used to laser focusing on one thing.
He's not being given an order though. He's
No,
doing this on his
but
own
they're
volition.
but they're laser focused on one thing: survival and winning, and help other people. And let's say if it's this is The Walking Dead, and Reverend Tucker's one of these zombies, he's not gonna. So what if he's a reverend? He's not going to say, "Okay, you can win, and I'm just gonna walk away or let you kill me."
Yeah,
Not
but
gonna
this
do
is
that.
different.
I know.
This is very different from a zombie apocalypse situation.
And Reverend Tucker, he
And
does know
so
Mayberry,
my
and
argument
Sergeant Vince
is
doesn't.
that Reverend Tucker is a man of God, and we don't know if he would be okay with killing him. Of course, if he was okay, I would say he would automatically win Vince Carter because he's stronger. He's more. He has more endurance. He's a military fighter. But the fact that uh, he can't kill a man of God, I mean, we don't know.
But I
So
think I think his training precludes that. I think that he could.
here's something, because I know it would be very easy for me to win if I just kept hammering that point. Here's something. Let's just presume for a second that he would kill a reverend. Okay, Reverend Tucker is also very threatening, and we saw this in the episode Opie's newspaper. And now we have Andy Griffith himself. He's also a very heavy hitter versus the Reverend. Because remember, Andy had to go up and pick all those newspapers up. Well, the Reverend was so threatening that Andy didn't even have to, say anything. He was just like, "What do you want me to do to make this up to you?" It was almost like a Godfather type situation. You know what I'm
Well,
saying,
that I
Sophie?
think that is this religious thing
Yeah,
in
it's this
some
religious
churches where you're
respect.
supposed to feel guilty about everything.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is, I mean, really,
well,
anybody who's in a religion, they
well,
know that
you
about the
have to
guilt
you
complex
have
that they
to
put on
acknowledge
you.
though that Opie wrote some terrible things about him in the newspaper, and that he should he should feel guilty about that. So I think that Reverend Tucker's very threatening, and we saw that in the episode. He was threatening against Andy himself, and Andy. I mean, who is threatening to Andy? I mean, that's just unheard of. So
Yeah, but I think that Andy uh, probably will think if he stands up to him because he's a
it's
quote
gonna be
man of
really
God,
scary.
he'll go to hell.
Yeah,
And they're
it'd be
so
really scary.
this religious thing where they're just so infused with their religion that they have to bow to the will of God and doing in every part of their life that he's not going to that he wouldn't bend to the man of God. And I'm
He
not
was
so sure about Sergeant because he's
he
not
was
a soldier.
he was threatening anyway though. He
Yeah,
was
I don't know.
threatening just with his presence.
Well, yeah, because he's the man of God. You don't mess
No,
with the church. You don't mess
no,
with the man of
it's
God.
because he's threatening.
Eh, I don't know. He seems so. Another one who seems so nice, and everybody likes him,
But that's
and
just a shell.
he's very bendable and very accommodating,
That's just a shell, Sophie.
and Vince Carter, he's like, I'm a Marine.
He's very angry.
I'm gonna get you.
But is that anger?
I'm not gonna let you get past me because I'm a Marine.
Is that anger a benefit to his situation?
Well, he has to be because he has all these men from all these different backgrounds, and he has to whip them into shape so that they're good soldiers and that they'll protect the United States.
Is that
Well, it's true.
is that anger going to be to his benefit? That he's so angry, his blood pressure's up.
I think that Reverend Tucker, because of his age, he could have high blood pressure too, dear.
I think that Reverend Tucker takes pills for that.
Well, so does Vince Carter then.
No, I think that Vince.
Well, no, I don't know if he'd be old enough to do that.
I
And
think
I'm not
that-
sure how old he's
I think
supposed to
that
be.
Vince would get pissed off if you told him to take something like that.
That's, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He would be like,
But I just think as a soldier,
Now
he's
what?
trained to fight. And he doesn't, and he has to
And he
overlook
might-
that.
and he might think that he's so strong that he doesn't need pills. Maybe.
Oh, you're full of BS.
Maybe.
I think that he could knock Reverend Tucker over in 2 seconds without even blinking. He's a Marine. My God.
Maybe
From the halls of Montezuma,
Don't start to,
he's a Marine, and they especially
But,
have this
Sophie,
big reputation as being
Sophie,
big fighters.
Sophie. What if he thinks that?
Now, I don't think so. He's a Marine first.
What if he thinks that God will get rid of his blood pressure?
No, he doesn't. He only. They're trained. They're very singly oriented, and they have to be, because they can't be distracted by anything. They are trying to help their country, their fellow soldiers, and themselves, and they put anything else out of mind until it's over, until the fight is over.
I disagree, Sophie. I think that what was I gonna say just there? Okay, I think that he just kisses up to his superiors, but I don't know. I think I'll give this one to Vince Carter, even though I highly disagree. Actually, it's really hard because it all hinges on the fact if he would kill a reverend or not.
But see, if you're a soldier, I mean, you've been trained as a soldier you're trained to instant think, and that I mean by that is that you have to make quick decisions because sometimes your life or someone else's life depends on it. In this case, it would be his own life. He is surviving, and he has to make an instant decision, and he's been also trained to be singularly focused, laser focused on one objective, and that is to survive, and that he would look past him being a reverend. And in the end, this is, I mean, the reverend is not, and this is a case where the reverend is not the reverend now. He is fighting for his life too. They're up against each other, and all that reverend crap it's done, and it's not part of the talking points anymore. It's between Vince and the Reverend, and Vince is going to win every time.
Well, the Reverend was very threatening in the episodes that he was in. He was very powerful. So maybe he's practicing something that'll give him an extra edge. Maybe he's secretly a Satanist.
Oh my, no, no way, Jose. So I won this
Okay,
one.
you
So I
won
think
this
we've split
one.
2 and 2,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, last episode was 3 for me and 1 for you. But that has nothing to do with it. We're just saying for everybody who's watching, keeping track.
Okay, well, we need to wrap it up. So stay tuned for our next, what is it, mishmatch, whatever it is. Mayberry matchups, and then also stay tuned for the our review of episode 8, which is
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, but
Goodbye, everybody.
it's like called Cochata or something.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you soon.